Hello and welcome back. Most of you watching this are probably from the Discord. Hoping you're enjoying this. If you happen to stumble across this, just searching YouTube for modern decks or something like that, there is a guide in the link that will explain everything. I'm going to continue playing as if and commenting as if you have a decent understanding of what's going on. MTGO just decides to launch on whatever screen it wants. That's interesting. My league seems to be a little glitched. I was curious, it said 2-0, and I was like, I was pretty sure I lost a match. I think I'm 2-1 in this. But it forgets what happened. Game, draw, draw. Um, in real life, what happened was I faced... Sorry, I'm booting up right now. I like to keep track of Oh, it was the Eldrazi deck. Green-red Eldrazi. And when I say that, I don't mean the Through the Breach version. I mean the one that's playing that new 4 mana card that kicks to exile land. It was main decking Worldbreaker. Um, and played Field of Ruin as well. So it was interesting. On the play, that's generally good for us. We have 3 interaction pieces, a win con, and 3 lands. So that's a pretty good keep. Obviously, in ideal world, we have a Lotus Bloom, although with selective memory, that's less useful. We can shoal on 1, 2, or 3, which is nice. Very useful. Oh, I faced this guy before, I think. I feel like the name's familiar. I did, and he was on a blue Living End deck, so we'll see if he's playing that again. If he is, Shoal becomes less useful because I need it on 3 or 4. Bane Veil won't really be useful, so Kick a Draw's nice. So it's a blue base. It's using the new 4 mana instant that bounces a spell or permanent. It's kind of like our Sink into Stupor, except then it also casts a card for free. And it's black. I wonder if this is the same deck, but um, he can't take our win con. The fact that he could take a land's annoying. He's likely to take Shoal if he is on Living End. Kick a Drowse is useful though. I am going to Shoal it. I don't know if this is technically correct, so we'll see how it feels. Giga Drowse is very good against blue-based decks, but he might have switched decks, so I don't want to make a misinformed decision. I think under most circumstances, someone plays Basic Swamp and Inquisition. We're pretty happy to ditch this. Ooh, well that's less. So it's definitely not on Living End. Well, I guess there's still a chance he might be on a different. I haven't looked at what is the typical Living End deck list looking like these days. It would make sense for it to play some of these flip lands as well as. Is it playing that? To Sink into Stupor. This is more what I look like I faced. So Living Land is just playing blue now? No, this one doesn't have. This is playing Ardent Place too. The one I played didn't play Ardent Plea. It had As Foretold and the new spell. So anyways, yeah, I can't actually stop this, so I should have just passed. Sorry. We're not snapping it back, obviously. That's not worth it. It's curious. I think it's correct to take our win con. What's nice about this deck is I'd rather have the lands than the win con right now anyway. We still have 7 more win cons to draw into. It's not the best draw, not the worst. I think it's better to hold on to the vision here. I mean, it's too late now, but there is a chance we play this to dig for selective memory, but it's unlikely. Maybe I should have played this out. Then we have a chance to play Harbinger next turn. So this is probably just Necro Dominance, Mono Black Scam, whatever we're calling that deck. What are we seeing here? Bowmasters. Sure. Do you know that's not going to trigger on my draw step, right? Like, that's not how that works. But you can do that, I guess. Mono black mid range is what it's called on. Yeah, it looks like he just switched decks. Although this isn't playing. This isn't playing Inquisition main. That must be a choice on his part. I think we're playing out the land here. We're likely going to end up in top deck mode. We can snap back the Orc token this turn and next turn. Giga Draws for 3, tapping some lands and Orcish Bowmasters. I think that's probably our best play to do before we take any damage from it or whatever. Yeah, oh, whew. I thought this was a Necro Dominance, and I was like, we're just dead, I think, to Necro Dominance, but I could maybe just bounce this, but then this gets a little bigger and it pings me again. Yeah, it's probably better just to do this. But he's playing this out as a threat, which means he doesn't have a great hand. Exiling our graveyard we don't really care about, but sure. Go for it. It's nice we're only taking one here. Next turn we can tap both creatures in a land. We'll have plenty of mana soon. So now the question is... I can Salundi to dig for a memory, but if we pass a Belcher, it feels really bad. Because I could play this, and if we draw a Belcher, we can win next turn. We don't have a long time. I mean, we do in that there's only 4 damage in play, but if he just draws... Shieldred is rough. If he draws Necro Dominance, we're basically dead. One ring can help him draw either of those. Does he have any way to make us draw a card if I just leave a, what's it called, bottom? Doesn't look like it. So if I Slundy this turn, next turn, assuming we hit a memory, I can cast memory and Giga Drowse for 2, I guess. It's not the worst. I guess we'll go with that line. I do just have this sinking feeling that I'm going to cast this and like see 2 Chart Belchers or something and be like, ah, no. I guess the other problem with not playing this out is if he plays another discard spell, we can use it, I guess, to dig for a Force of Negation if it's not Grief. But if it is Grief, then he's got to either take this or whatever we grab with it. So it's like, it's not great against discard. This is a 1 ring or Shieldred. It is a hard cast Grief. That's exactly what I didn't want to see. I guess, what can we get off of this that we want to get is the question. Doing some thinking. I'm in the tank here for a sec. Yeah, I don't know that we actually want to cast it. Because if we hit like... We don't want another snapback. I mean, whatever we hit, he's probably taking, right? So if I don't... I actively don't want to hit a... Selected memory. Force Negation's useless. Disrupting Shoal's useless. Another land is useless. Preordain, I guess he just takes that instead. Lets me put something on the bottom. I think I'm just gonna let it resolve. Yeah. Feels bad. It can't grab subtlety. So I just don't think it's worth it. Watch us top deck that Charbelcher and wish I'd played that Slundy out. We have a bloom. They have 3, 6, 7 in play. So I have 2 turns if I don't Giga Drowse. So obviously, I'm just gonna get Giga Drowse with 3 creatures here to give us another draw, essentially. Yeah. Cast with Replicate. We want 2 copies. We pay 3 blue. Replicate goes off. You don't have a response to this, I promise you. In mono black. And we're just gonna do this. And we got 3 turns now. if there's no further clock presented. He obviously has a lot of good draws, but he seems to be flooded with lands. Shoal is not one of our good draws. Would have taken virtually anything over that, including a land. Land would be great because it means we could just draw Belcher and win. I mean, Shoal isn't the worst, but we prefer this to just be a force negation because I could just hardcast that a lot easier. And I don't think there's other than Shieldred, which we don't have enough mana. 3, 6. Oh, I guess we technically could cast against Shield. I'm just gonna let it resolve. I technically could tap the mana to counter it, but I don't really care. It doesn't. This. The result either way is they're both hitting the graveyard. So. We are dead. We are dead. Right. Sink into stupor. This can bounce the grief to give us one draw, but then Charbelcher is our only out now. We'll have enough mana because the other bloom's coming, so we have a slight chance. Very slight chance here, but we'll play for it. A chance. You're saying there's a chance. La da 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 da. Boom. I guess it's the same difference to cast it on the Bogart, and then he can't cast it for free. I don't know. It doesn't really matter because we don't have anything in hand, but he could just play it out as another. He's played 3 as lands. That's crazy. He drew all 4 Bogart box. What a draw. Shieldred. Yikes. Well, we aren't dead yet. And survey says wrong artifact. Let's do this just to scare him. Concede. 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is what we would have seen. We would have seen Bloom, Bloom, Sink, Shoal, Seagate, Shoal. So, I mean, it wouldn't have made a difference. Like I said, against that grief trigger, I was just paying attention to what the cards were we would have seen off of Salundi. If we had done that, then our draws would have been Salundi, Jawari, Gigadrouse. So we were not going. There was no version of that where we were going to see this Belcher in time. I just like to see that kind of thing after the game. Mono black. Let's see. The sideboard guide. The idea is a couple Commandeer and Brazen Borrowers. I assume mostly for Necrodominance. Taking out our lowest blooms. I'm definitely in on taking out the lowest blooms. The difference is in my list, I have the Giga Drowses versus Subtlety and Snapback. And I think in this matchup, Giga Drowse is less good. I'm not sure I really want Subtleties. There's Shieldred as well. I don't think Harbinger hits enough. They play an Urborg, a Phyrexian Tower. Yeah. I mean, we saw those, modal lands, but Felder Profanes and what's his name? This doesn't hit enchantments, unfortunately. It's gonna take the last Commandeer. Snapback seems actually bad against most of the deck. I don't have cards I really want here. This is where that Spell Pierce might be better than this. I think I'll bring in the Subtleties, if even just have more 4-drops for Shoal as well. And maybe just play my Harbingers as blockers for if Bowmasters is one of his main, threats. Also, I could use this and any other creature to like trade with the whatever it's called. It might slow them down, but chances are the island part isn't really going to affect anything other than it also makes our islands deal less damage. I guess I can put one of them snap back in for Shieldred and Bowmasters. Oh, this is a Venser one. Let's be the Venser one. He can bounce back Necro Dominance, so that's something, I guess. What do we have here? This hand is close. So we can shoal a discard spell, which is great, while still turn oneing a preordain. The problem is we're playing a grief deck, and playing low lands into grief is not ideal. Commandeer. We're not playing Bloom anymore, so we're not going to get a faster hand. I'll risk it. I don't really want to mulligan against the grief deck, and if we don't have Shoal Preordain, we're going to get Thoughtseize turned one, and that will be just a bummer. I'm willing to lose 3 life because he doesn't actually have a fast clock. He just has a kind of deterministic. This is grand. I'm going to draw the Jawari. Because I'd rather pitch that to like a Commandeer than the Sink. If I'm of the opinion that's a good play. I think we're just going to counter this with Shoal. Yeah. We want Commandeer is for especially One Ring, but we also can use it on their Necrodominance. I've used it on the turn 1 discard. We could have Inquisitioned them, but I don't think that's necessary. I think we're going to bolt ourselves again and hold up Jawari. Yeah, I think that's the line I want to take. We'll see. So that's smart. I'm not I don't have a 3-drop to play. Fell. Yeah, that's a fine counter. Great that he did it on his turn. It's funny that last time he waited till my upkeep and it was like, well, that's useless. This time he did it and it's like, well, actually, you just let me if I shock a land in, he should have known not to play into that, but he did, I did use my land as a spell, so here I am stuck on 2 lands. It looks like he probably has some number of flutes, voidwalkers, and maybe EE or okay. Unfortunate that we have to like lose our whole hand, but we can't let this resolve. So here we go. Only triggers on your end step. Okay. He's probably like, what just happened? Oh, I have to skip my draw step. That's less than ideal. Trigger. We're gonna pay. Our hand size is 5, right? I think we're just gonna pay 4. We'll play 5. We'll discard 1. Go down to 9. Great. Yeah. Seagate could get really weird with Necro Dominance. Going up to like 12 cards in hand. How would that work? If I cast this after this, is it a timestamp thing? Shieldred. I did not draw an answer for that. Unfortunately, this is gonna kill us real fast. I don't. Oh wait, never mind. Sorry, I forgot we had mana open. No thanks. I'd rather you not do that. That would be fantastic. My bad that I, for a minute there, just completely forgot. You notice that I didn't just hit OK, though. I have trained myself to, like, sit there and look at everything before I move on. We'll play this out tapped. If it's untapped, I can just cast the Force of Negation. But it puts us to 6, and I want to, like, pay 2 more. That just puts us so low. Math in my head. We have to live 2 more turns. I think it's fine. I think it's fine just playing it tapped. And we'll pay 2. We have a land, but I want to have a spell to pitch to this, and that puts us up to 5 cards. So, perfect. The only thing is I wish I had a 4-drop for this. But we could just hard cast another. It'd be funny to cast a 3rd Jawari. Oh, Hey, took a whole turn off for us. How nice. So I'm gonna go to 4 to cast Belcher, which means we're not dead. Not dead to really anything, right? He and I think we have answers to everything we care about here. I can pitch a 3 or a 2. I can pitch for force. He doesn't have any direct damage. I'm only gonna pay. I'll pay 2. No, I'll pay 1. I'm going to stay at 3 in case he does resolve a Shieldred. I don't have an answer to Shieldred right now, and I need to draw a card. So by going to 3, that would only put me to 1. I don't think there's anything else that can do damage to us. Like, he doesn't have a haste. Oh, wait, he has this. I forgot about Soul Spike. Um, oh, I can't do this. I can't do this. Interesting he waited till now. I would have just done it in response to Char Belcher. Well, maybe I should have kept the Seagate in hand. I did not have this on my radar, and I should have. I haven't played this deck enough. I've only faced it once before, I think. Maybe twice. Yeah, I think you got us there. I can't show it. I can't force it. I can't pay mana for anything else. So that was a mistake. Previous turn, I should have only gone to 5. I shouldn't have gone to 4. I forgot that they have that. Okay. 0-2. Unfortunate. Let me just put that in my little tracker here. Mono black. Apparently Armstrong likes to play multiple decks and play around the same time as me. We'll record the last one here. Hope to get the 3-2. I don't know why this is still like broken, but I'm waiting for the next one. I think that we played it pretty solidly there. I do think it was wrong to go to 4. I did not have that on my radar, even though, like, I know that's how they win the game, but in my head it was like, oh, sorry, that wasn't supposed to minimize. Whatever, I'm over it. You're over it. Like, I have the deck list up here. I see Soul Spike on there. In my head, that's something that happens after the Necro Dominance, not just in their hand, you know? My sideboard is currently a mess. I do want to change it up. We have to be on the play. 2 lands preordain. Ponyo 105. We are, yes, on the play. I'm going to keep it. We kind of have our premium suite of interaction here. I'm going to not bolt myself on the off chance like Prowess or Boros. Because we do have a guaranteed land drop next turn already, and I can preordain the top 2 cards, and yeah, we're gonna play that next turn. We'll see what the best interaction is. Hedge Maze. Let's see what they put here. This could be, well, it wasn't what I thought. Green, blue, Eldrazi? Question mark. Not sure what we want here. I don't think Shoal's gonna be great against this deck. Doubt it's the Through the Breach, but and all his dust doesn't hit my Belcher. I already have 1-4, so I think we're fine. I did bottom, so now we've whatever. Thanks, Moto. You are consistent at least. The amount of times you scry something and then draw it is frighteningly high. So what are we gonna see here? Like Eldrazi Temple or Ugin's Labyrinth. Maybe the blue or the green is just a splash. Maybe it's just like green Eldrazi and he wanted to surveil land. I don't know. What is going on over here? Radiant Fountain. Haven't seen this guy in a while. I am confused as to what is happening. He knows what's happening over here. Great. We love getting just Strip Mind. Not even Strip Mind, because he didn't lose a land drop to do it. That is rough. Boseiju. Wish there was a better answer to that. I don't think we're going to be playing this as a spell because our lands are getting hit, so it's like we kind of need to get as many lands into play as possible, so we're trying not to cast land cards unless we had more than 2 or 3 in hand. Because this time, at this point, I still don't even have a 4th land for Belcher, so I don't want to bolt myself to keep up Jawari. We have interaction for creature or non-creature spell, so... Or, yeah, for all the spells except... No, we have them all covered. This hits creature, this hits non-creature. This can also hit Planeswalker. That can hit Planeswalker. Here's a temple. We've seen a Thought Knot here. Which was subtlety. Which, although I kind of wish I had kept the shoal at that point. If we do. Another Boseiju. Woof. This is a rough one for the home team. Sorry, boys and girls, you have to watch such brutal annihilation of us. And this has happened against multiple decks now. It is frustrating. It's a real downside of the deck. I mean, if you're considering playing the deck, if people, especially if you're like got to play this in paper at a local meta, any green deck could just pack 4 of these. Any, you know, 1 to 3, even 3 color decks can probably still play like Field of Ruin effects. And if they want to be really mean, any colorless Tron, whatever, could do like Field of Ruin plus Ghost Quarter. You know, like it could get really nasty at just keeping you from ever getting to 4 mana. Yeah, I hate this card. Jeez, the amount of times he didn't kick it. He doesn't have enough to kick it yet, but he will the next one he casts. I don't like it. And if I do this, because this is a cast trigger, I'm just letting him put it on top of his deck. I guess if I do it in response, he puts it on top, he has to go search and then shuffle it away. Right? But I don't really want it in his deck, and I lose a card if I can't. I definitely don't want to stamp it back. Maybe I do just subtlety it. It's so hard. I guess it's only a 3/3. It's only a 3/3. I don't want it back in his deck where he could draw it again. Cavern is interesting. I guess I play counter magic, but this doesn't stop subtlety, which is my only interaction for creatures right now. I haven't seen Hedge Maze. I guess this could still be a Through the Breach build. It seems unlikely. Double Boseiju. Wow. There you are. Where were you 5 turns ago? Like now, it's so frustrating. We just want to draw a land, but we cannot. I don't see a list running a Hedge Mage. This Through the Breach one has the Carplusion Forest and the Grove. It does have 2 Boseiju, so it looks like someone is playing something close to the Gruul Eldrazi list, but maybe they're just playing either blue instead, or they just wanted to add a Surveil land. It seems odd. They're playing more... Okay, yeah, they're definitely green-blue then. So instead of Through the Breach, what is a blue card they could play? The Emerge guy? There's probably a new one that I don't know about. It's like, you know, really good and it's going to crush my hopes and dreams. We'll do this. We'll get rid of Force. And then I'm going to... Oh, no. Put... Cancel. Evoke on the stack. Put this on the stack. Resolve that. I don't think you have to stack it this way, but I'm going to snap back our own thing. There's not that we've seen a target in their deck that we want to snap back, but this means I can ditch my selective memory and subtlety again, which is nice. He put it on the bottom, so he's not going to try to thought knot again, which is interesting. I guess there's a world where we can hold off for 2 more turns, draw 2 lands, one of which is untap. Nope, no such luck there. I think we just play this out. It's gonna buy us something. Not a turn. Harbinger would be interesting, but I don't have a third land to cast it. Yeah, I don't have a third land to cast it. It's not worth it. I gotta take the land. Harbinger would have been great earlier when we had 3 lands, or, you know, the Jawari Disruption would have been better than the Thassa's Oracle this turn. We're halfway there. Well, we're taking the 3 now because we are likely to have something bigger that Thassa's Oracle can block. And if not, I can just block the 3 on another turn. When you're looking to chump block, you want to chump block for maximum value. There is some risk, inherent risk of not using it right away, that it could be bad. Yeah, this is the part that sucks. These cast triggers are brutal. I think that this second one should be an ETB. Having the kicker also be, if it was kicked, exiles target land when you cast a spell. I don't know. You just have no way to interact with this except for like, Tidebinder or whatever, maybe. No, yeah, triggered ability. We could like consign into dust this, I guess. But you have to just consign this. No, it's not even a triggered, is it? Anyways, it says triggered ability right there. Good reading, Zay. I don't want him to put it on top of his deck, so I can't really use subtlety on it. So I just have to go back down to 1 land. And this is like, I've beaten this deck where it feels ridiculously easy when they don't have Boseiju or this guy and or Worldbreaker. But then in the games, this has happened to me multiple times where multiple sowing Mycone spawns get played and a Boseiju. It's just like, it's pretty unwinnable for us. Unless we like started with a hand with double Lotus Bloom or something. I mean, we're not dead yet. There is a line of like we could survive somehow, but it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's up to 7. I assume we see something big come down. If Worldbreaker get cast, like we're out of it at that point. Anything with Annihilator gets cast. Don't want to pass the turn because I have subtlety. Excuse me. It's also hard because our selected memory line is worse against them due to the Kozilek's command being able to make us draw a card, so we have to be careful with that. It's a rough one to face. I have no idea what the blue splash is for, which is terrifying. If this is another sewing or a Worldbreaker, I think we just concede because I'm done. I'll never have the 3 mana to activate it. Yep. Okay, great. You're really good at exiling our lands. We were so close. Curious what the master has for this. He says bringing Commandeer and Harbinger take out our Lotus Blooms. I'm not sure I want to take out my Lotus Bloom. And again, there are builds that like don't play the sowing Mycone spawn, whatever. Take out a shoal. I think I'm okay with that. But the Commandeers are for like Through the Breach. We didn't see any Through the Breach. We just saw Talisman and All's Dust, and I don't want to steal either of those. I guess subtleties are okay. Oh, I want this one. Strix is finally good. Like I said, it doesn't seem to be playing Through the Breach, so I think our forces are pretty dead. It's like hard because it's like I'm not sure what else they're gonna play. Can I play Jace? No. Brazen can't block anything, and if I wanted a bounce spell, I guess I probably want just snap back. They could be playing like Chalice, I guess. Don't really have another answer to that, but I have my sink into stupors. I don't know. I'll put one in. Over Shoal, over Commandeer, over Giga Force, or the fourth snapback. I think one Brazen's fine. Fencer's close, but he's not going to trade with anything. So at 4 mana, all he is a bounce spell, essentially, that blocks a 3/3. Not super worth it. And we have Harbinger. We're on the play. We have a lot of lands. I think we keep. I don't, love a Thassa's Oracle hand. Snapback is one of our weakest pieces of interaction, but it is interaction. I mean, it becomes better with Harbinger, I guess. Again, I'm probably not casting any land as a spell in this matchup. Sink in the Super might be the one that I want to hold on to. But I'm not trying to, I just need to play my lands out against 2+ Besejus, 4 Myco Spawns, and at least 1 World Breaker is too brutal to hold up. So I'm not trying to cast Baying Veil for, a value fog. Let's see if we survive. 1 turn without Beseju is what we're asking for. Please just cast the Thought-Knot Seer. Nope, here she comes. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Well, almost past my turn there. He does already have a basic forest, which is frustrating. But I think this technically makes our lands not targetable by Boseiju. It says non-basic. I always forget if it actually makes. I think it actually. Because the name of the card is still this. It doesn't say basic land island. It says land island. So I don't think it changes its type. It's still a non-basic island. He's got 2 forests. Look at him go. And the talisman means he can make colorless mana, so he's pretty well set up to handle this. In response to Thought-Knot, do we want to snap back to draw a card? Nah. Let him exile, whatever. He's probably gonna take the snapback or the sink, I assume. There's a slight chance he takes the Thassa's Oracle, question mark. Thassa's Oracle for 5 is actually a pretty nice play. Next turn. And getting to play a land without taking damage is nice. Untapped land. He probably has Stonebrain and or Disruptor Flute and or Chalices. Maybe even Trinispheres. He took the Thoracle. Yeah, I think that was our best play. I'd still snap it back to draw a card. On his turn if he casts something before. Let's play this out so he thinks we don't have one. But we do. I don't think it will really come to play, but, he might try to dismember our Harbinger. I don't know. We'll say, which member? Dismember. Dismember my specimen. Order has been delivered. Sorry, my groceries are going to delivered to my home. Letting the wife know. Oh, Michael Spawn. At least he didn't kick it. I mean, yeah, whatever. We can't really. I don't want to bounce this with Sink into Stupor. Hey, you know that spell that let you just go get a land? You want to cast it again? The answer is please don't. Like I said, Snapback is not great in this matchup. But looking at my sideboard, would I rather this snapback be a force negation right now? No. Would I rather it be a commandeer? No. Would I rather it be a brazen borrower? Maybe. I guess I could play it out, but I'm not gonna race him. I'm already losing the race. So it's hard. At least it's free. I guess if it's Shaper Savant, I could double block. Maybe. I get a slight. Maybe I should just left it as Giga Drowse. Because I could tap these both down. I don't know. Doesn't feel good. Doesn't feel good. Do I want to draw a card and let him cast Thought-Knot again next turn? That's the question. I think so. This snapback's not doing anything. Watch him just like cast a counter spell. I haven't seen any blue cards yet. That's the other thing too, is I am sideboarding unknown. Whoa, whoa, here she goes. Veil of Summer. Gives him hexproof from blue, right? Um, sure. Sure. Interesting. Hey, I'm gonna preordain. That's something. I don't want sync. I don't want subtlety. Yeah, I don't want subtlety. I want to try to win. That's what our hope is right now. Gotta remember, we are a proactive deck. Somehow, some way, we just haven't been feeling that way lately. Did I want Shoal for 7? I guess he could play all his dust, but I'm fine if he takes a full turn off to cast all his dust, honestly. I don't think I even really want to counter. I could counter Kozilek's Command for 5 or Devourer of Destiny, but I haven't seen that yet out of him. Yeah, I haven't seen him. I'm really curious what his build is and why it looks so different. Again, he has more basics than the typical build as well. Basic forest. The one I see has 2 forests, 1 mountain, so maybe he just made them all forests, and his blue is a very slight splash. Or it's just to throw people off, and it's mono green. I think. We'll just take 7. Kicked it, eh? Can't show it. Don't want to sink into Stupor it. Don't really want to sink to draw a card. It's not, I don't think it's worth it. So I'm just going to play this guy out because I'm going to use him to chump block next turn to stay alive. I still have 4 cards, 4 lands, so, well, technically 5. I have a sink in my hand, so I could cast a Belcher. Hope he has no interaction for it. Chump block twice and survive. So we do have a line. It's a very slight line. We did not draw win con. I think that means we're dead. No, we're not dead yet. Subtlety can actually trade with one of these Myco spawns, so that is better than just chumping. So if I trade with one and block the other, I can go to 2. That's better than nothing. Okay, just done. There's no targets. Whoa, here we go. So if he plays nothing and we draw a win con, yeah, I can't answer that. It's smart of him to wait till after combat. Obviously, it would have been nice to subtlety that, but I don't think we could afford not to do what we did. I think if he takes sync, we're technically just dead because I only have 2 blockers. Yeah. So now, even if I draw the win con, it's not enough. I don't think there's anything else we draw that can deal with this board. Yeah. Here's what it is. You know? Sometimes you don't draw into it. Other times you do. Well, I hope you learned some things watching. It's funny it still says I went 2 and 2, because I clearly didn't. But anyways, we were talking about in the Discord spell snare. I don't know if I actually have snares yet. I have void snare. No. So I think I'm going to. I'm not sure about this slot with the Giga Drowse main. I'm not sure how necessary it is. Um, it's been feeling fine to have only the 2 subtlety main, but I want some waterlogged. So I'm just gonna do this. I want to go the full 4 over Salandi, like this. I want to. This is just a flex slot anyway. I'm not sure about Jace either, but I think I want to switch out these 4 for something like 2 spell snare. Not sure what else. Probably want to keep at least this. I just have not ever. I've never cast this. I haven't faced a single like blue deck since I put him in the sideboard, and I know as soon as I sideboard him out, I'm gonna face like Jeskai 3 times or in Demir or something like that. But problem is we don't really just have like here's an answer for Boseiju. Does flute technically stop it if we flute? Because it's an activated ability to channel, right? Maybe I want to go back to having flute in the side. It could also slow down that slowing, Michael. I just like haven't really been using these cards all that much. So we'll go back to 2 flute. Definitely cut this. Cut this. Cut this. Put in a spell snare. And just do 2 sets spell snare and cut the Jace. There is some instances where having like a Jace Thoracle split can be good. But I'm just not running. I just don't think it's relevant enough. It technically gives us a little bit of play against a mill deck, but then I lost to it because they could just Otawara the Jace. Again, a card that's hard to interactive. So maybe I think bringing in flutes does make sense. I had them early. I cut them because I wasn't using them that much. But now that I've played a little longer, I think I like that idea. And I want to test the teachings. I'm not using the black mana at all, but it's a tapped land, but it gives me another 4-drop for my shoals, which I like. Because as you see, really my only options are the memories, and I went down to 2 subtleties. So this gives us a more even spread. I've been liking 3 Giga Drowse main. It has won me multiple games. So this is probably what I'm going to test going forward with 2 spell stare over here. Oh, I can put them in now that I change the quantity up here. Something like this. I'll change my list on Mox Field to match that. Have a great day.